All right, so moving on to number two. So the right to personally visit the project site before investing. So as with any investment, you wouldn't buy a $800,000 house without going to see it in person, walking around, looking at the roof, taking a walk around, making sure everything looks good. Same thing with the project. Before you decide to make, nearly $1 million investment, always a good idea to go see it in person. Why is that important? Because at the end of the day, for you to get your capital back, on time and in full, right, and not lose any money, the underlying project that you're investing in, it needs to be economically successful, right? What does that mean? It needs to actually make money, right? If you lend to a business and it makes money and is successful, that's going to cure all of the problems. Jobs are going to be created, money is going to be repaid, everything's going to go great. And so to get a better idea of if a project's underlying business model is going to be financially successful, you can go visit it in person and come to that analysis and decision yourself, right? Especially when it comes to for sale real estate. It's very difficult to look at photos in a spreadsheet and really get a feeling for if homes or apartments or condos at a particular site are going to sell or rent well, right? You've got to really walk the perimeter. Is this an area that's been, really struggling with crime and homelessness? Do you feel safe walking outside the building and in the immediately surrounding area, or do you not feel safe, right? Are residents there now walking around? What does the local area look like? How far of a walk is it to the grocery store, the pharmacy? What does it look like on the ground? We've been doing project site visits for over 10 years now. We have two visits coming up, one on March 16th, Saturday, at our Twin Lakes project in Georgia, and another one on May 19th at our Boynton Beach project in Florida. And we regularly hold visits like this several times a year. We just also did one in Colorado at our Keystone project, so that investors, attorneys, and brokers have a chance to come see it in person, get a construction tour, and really understand what's happening on site. Ahmed, what other comments do you have?
Yeah, no, I think all those are great points, and obviously it's very important to see if you're putting up this kind of money, you want to be able to see where your money is going, right? That just makes sense. I think the other important aspect of site visits that a lot of investors can enjoy is being able to meet with either the sales or the development team on site, right? There's no better way to get a gauge of what the market is like for a particular project than to ask people who are on the ground. And, we can definitely set up site visits all we want, but a really good advantage for a lot of our projects is investors can just show up unannounced at some of these projects, go there, deal with the staff, speak with the staff, and basically get their perspective on how the project is doing, how sales are going, how it's moving forward. And that should give them a really good perspective on how the project is going to be in the future.
And one thing that I'd add here is not every regional center will have an office or a regional center representative on site all the time. That's actually not usually the case. In our case, we're not the developer. We're not on site every day. So I'd say it's important to understand and have expectations of if we have 5 different projects in the U.S. going on at once, there's not always going to be a team member available to show you around. It may happen, it may not, which is why we try and coordinate larger visits that are pre-planned. But for sale real estate projects, it's usually quite easy to go and meet the team that's selling the real estate, and they'll know a little bit about EB-5. They won't know all the details, and it's not their job to know how the project's being financed. But it is always a great idea to go and visit the site and see, hey, if I'm investing in this hotel and condominium project that I'm being told is at a great ski resort, you might want to go and see, is it a busy ski resort? Will there be people staying there? And just do some common sense diligence as well.